welcome back to the left side of reality. This is your host, as always, Snow the First. Last time, we did the Yasad core suppression. If you remember anything else happening after that, no you don't. This time, we're going to finally tackle day 34, and unfortunately, having no core suppressions to engage in doesn't mean the day's gonna be any more relaxed. We have quite a few things that we need to do. We need to finish the day, we need to clear it within 10 minutes and 30 seconds, and perhaps most crucially of all, we need to take care of any noons that happen to cross by. While it'll be slower, one thing I need to do... Could I score a 3-on-1 with this shot? No. I'm gonna try it. One thing I need to do is to get used to clicking on the bullets directly instead of using the keybinds, because I cannot be trusted around keybinds apparently. Oh, that's behavior adjustment, not Queen Bee. $220 for that. And the person we want for that is Rose, who has been shown to be able to get consistent good stuff with that. Okay, everything else should be... We know this routine by now. We have practiced it a lot. That we haven't been able to do it until now is kind of annoying, but... Did it remember me buying the armor? It did not. I needed to do a single round of Little Prince with Gabriella. Melendez can do Snow White's apple. And I think I usually have... Who do I usually have on this duty? Georgia, because she has high black resistance, I believe. Okay. Attachment, and then the first one is always Everett to take the buff for the day. This is Tatiana. This is Misona. Yeah, Misona. And then we grab two more. So that we're left with only one meltdown level at the end of it all. Okay, first, when I unpause, I want to see if I grabbed all three of those clerks at once. I did, it looks like. Neat. So, I do want to talk about some things that have been going on with me in real life. Early last year, I lost a job I had had for 3 years, which sucked tremendously, and I had to find a new one. Now, the good news is I was able to find a job, but what was originally meant to only be a temporary job lasted a lot longer than I thought it would. I've mentioned before that I love everything about the job except the hours, which are beyond irritating. So I've been looking for something better in the background. I have found what is hopefully something better since then. And I have found something better. At least I hope, and I'm gonna start it in about 2 weeks. Which leads me to think about something to go into something I think about every so often, which is that... Okay, we have a Red Dawn incoming. Butterfly and Queen Bee are the two that are melting down. Butterfly is kind of unfortunate because don't want to lower his Clyfoth. Is there no one nearby that fulfills the conditions? Because I don't want it to be anyone that would take too long. Do I? No, I don't. Everyone's justice would be too high. Unless you're saying that we don't care about... We don't care about the Clyfoth dropping. I guess if it's just the once. Okay. Cool. So I'm going to... Well, I'm actually going to cancel the work right now because I want London to do the work with everyone else. I'm going to take the chance to quickly grab... Seriously? One box short? Gabriella, what are you doing? Fine. I will do one more work with Little Prince. I'm gonna unpause briefly so that I can work on Queen Bee, and then I'm going to prep the rest of the work. Because she is one of the meltdowns. Okay. So first we're gonna go clerk killing. I need to take the painstaking process of doing it via clicking to take myself off of that habit. Okay. London is going to do this. This is going to be Rose like last time. Why does she still have a -4? Is it because the work didn't finish before... Is it because Rose didn't finish the work before the meltdown happened? That's annoying. Okay, gotta keep that in mind. That's kind of the thing, though, if it can be handled. Okay. To replace the work, since meltdowns don't count... Okay, what am I saying? Okay, since for whatever reason these don't count towards the meltdown bar, we need one replacement for Queen Bee. So we'll have that be Scorched Girl. Belina can do that. And then everyone else just do the works you were gonna do anyways. Oh, Mary is still doing her thing. How does Misona not have lamp on her head with how often she's worked on it? I'd like to know that. Penitents? I don't think so. Okay, I have learned my lesson. This time I will wait a tiny bit for everyone's works to finish before I do any more action, which is mildly annoying because we're on a time limit, but what can you do? Let's check that real quick, actually. Lamp has a drop rate of 3%. Okay, everyone's done with their work. So we can trigger the next wave and then we can plan from there. We have to be super careful for clowns in the lower area because we have a ton of stuff there we don't want breaking out. Instead of Mary, you, I guess, because you're not really a fighter right now. Your stats are all over the place. Okay, so what I was saying. Every so often, you end up with a choice that you don't know if it's right or wrong. 2 appeared here? That's annoying. There's the one... How many clowns? Of course you would end up there. Emilia and Poussey. Slaughter immediately so they don't let out someone annoying. You can be... You could probably be London, actually. London's gear could probably take it out very quickly. We're gonna exterminate that one with extreme prejudice, because we do not want Judgment Bird getting out. I'll send Lysihan as backup then, in case it's needed. Okay, go. Jesus. Grinder really is something else. Okay, anything that's not being addressed right now. Scorched Girl doesn't have anyone. I did send people to Scorched Girl, but maybe the clerks did get it before the agents even... There you are! You migrated to Queen. Okay, Lysihan, you go. And just in case they can't reach there fast enough, Georgia, you join. There. Okay, now for our usual routine. We only have 2 clerks left in, 2 clerks left here, so may as well execute them now. Just goes to show that clerks aren't completely useless, just mostly useless. Okay, that should be 3. And after that, just the usual routine. Okay, got 2 things. The next one is 40 either way, so just gotta grind for it. No other choice there. Okay, we know the routine by now. Let's get on it. This is going very well so far, but it doesn't stop me from being nervous because the thing about this game is that anything can go wrong at any time. Alyssa's usually the one I send to this one, I believe. Yeah, because it's the one that tackles Blue Star. Currently, I have the choice of either sticking with the job I have now, that I've actually built up quite a rapport with and have gotten settled in at, or, given the fact that it had always been meant to be a temporary job, I could take the risk of jumping into a new one, even though it's not a guarantee that the new one would work out. And it's kind of like, it is definitely a high risk, I will acknowledge that, but I didn't want to stay stagnant in that job forever. I want to eventually move on to something better, and if this new job is a chance at that, then I should take it. I believe that's all my usual, So here's a question I've got. Of course it did. Jose, let it pick at you for a bit. Or is it just gonna go into this room? Yep. Okay, just let it pick at you guys for a bit. So, here's a question. Should we pull the plug the second we get all the energy? Or should we do one more grinding session with Censored? Because my concern is because when we completely ignored Censored for the core suppression, meaning we lost an entirety of grinding on it. Which is actually kind of bad because you need every bit of grinding you can get with an Aleph. Yeah, that's my concern. Kind of wait for everyone to get done with their works first. I want to finish this Chesed mission now, but I don't want to be in a situation where I can't get the stuff for Censored. Because if next time is the last time that we will get a chance to take a stab at Censored. Okay, my less stellar agents work on these two to push us over, and then we'll see what our meltdowns are for this next level. Okay, what have we got? Queen Bee again. Blue Star. Oh, and don't tell me. Luminous Bracelet is one of them. Should we ignore Luminous Bracelet as usual, or also Crimson Moon? Although I don't know if that's even a concern at this point. I'm pretty sure we'll get all the energy we need by the time this next meltdown level ends. The thing is, I would have to grab Luminous Bracelet. I think I would have to wait 30 seconds and then I would return it if I wanted to grab it at all. But I also don't want to risk a agent death this close to things. Oh, so I can just return it immediately. I have no idea if this day will last any longer, but may as well execute it quick. May as well do the other stuff then, that I usually do for this time period. Georgia, you do that. Or actually, before you do that, Georgia, take Luminous Bracelet, and then immediately return it. Okay, the Sihan can do that. You can do this as usual. Queen B can be Rose as usual. Emilia do a round of Censored. And then I think at this point everyone else just do their normal thing. Oh, Misona got Lamb. So it really just was absurdly low odds that did it. Of course, Misona's not gonna keep Lamp after we reset the week, so, well, there. Wait, return it. I almost forgot it's a 30-second thing. I would have completely left, Hello? Okay, good. So here's a question. Do we think Emilia can survive another round of Censored when she hits full health? Or should we leave that alone? Well, I suppose first and foremost we can just grab the guidelines to... We actually don't need much to get all the energy. What is that? That is 44. Yeah. So going by averages, if you average 17, okay, let's go by the presumption that's 17. A round of Night of Despair would be okay. We're basically gonna revisit all our relatively low risk fogs to grab the rest of the energy. Let's see if with those two we can do it. Or no, not 3, 4. With those 4. Imagine if somehow we go the entire stream series without facing a green moon in once. Just things happen to contrive that from being a thing. Faster, people. We are on a time limit here. That did it. Okay. So we will put Emilia in the censored box again. She at least is fully healed by this point. And if things look dicey, we're pulling the plug. But if things go well, we should hopefully be able to grab the last of censored stuff so that all that's left is the weapon and the suit. We could probably do that in one day. I hate that sometimes I'm being blocked from seeing what's going on by the workbook. Because it means it's harder to tell how much SP she has at a given moment. Although it seems like she's doing fine. Sound of a Star is so broken. $23. Yes, it was enough. So all we need to do is get 222 in one day, which, if we're going at 30 per meltdown cycle, is doable. Or if we're averaging that per meltdown cycle, we can do it. Go! Good morning, X. Based on your reaction, it seems that the synchronization is complete. I can now tell what moment you're reminiscing about just by looking at your expression. I also happen to know that the process always ends with the same expression and keeps. You're a prisoner. You lock yourself inside this prison without bars. However, the key has always been in your hands. My role was to correct you whenever you made a wrong decision. Now, I think that is the first time she's opened her eyes. Hi. Now, I'm quite tired of it. I don't understand why you chose to repeat the cycle, nor do I know what kind of results you hope to achieve while slowly killing yourself. Frankly, I don't really wish to know. But in this moment, while you hold the fragments of when you once were I would be ever so glad if you stopped the cycle now. I should change my greeting as well. It was getting tedious. Hello anew, I guess this is where they formally dropped the revelation that we weren't just any random person. We're somehow. I give you a warm welcome back to your Lobotomy Corporation. It is very disconcerting. Okay, now I gotta go deep. Seems you're holding up all right. Today wasn't the best day. Incidents happened one after another, and I'm a bit tuckered out from it. It's a good thing that everyone has such clear-cut assigned roles. It makes it easy for them to be faithful to their task with no unnecessary contemplation or distraction. Lady Angela does a very good job at keeping everyone in check in her play. Anytime someone tries to rid themselves of their assigned roles, well, she becomes completely merciless. I myself have learned well that I have a predetermined role to play. Whether one likes it or not, they have been cast into it already. Given that, I've made up my mind to simply wait. Wait for what, you may ask? All things must come to an end. So I'll be waiting for her plan to finally come to a close. Lady Angela, I found something strange in the documents. This record shows that the containment unit's lock failure was what allowed the abnormality to escape. Yet, to my knowledge, that door was fine for the entire day, nor was there any sign of malfunction. And the one with authority over the locking mechanisms of the containment unit doors is you, Lady Angela. Angela, please tell me why. Why did you do it? You have to know how many employees under my department died that day. Such a bright one, she said. I knew you would find out, but this is a little quicker than I anticipated. What do you mean by that? Thanks to your excellent effort, your department's escape ratio has been very low these days. You're a capable Sephira, I will give you that. I've never said this to anyone, and I don't need to either, but abnormalities create more energy through killing people. How could that be? You have written several reports and papers about importing machinery to replace the human workforce that must handle dangerous tasks, no? If soulless, cheap machines were to replace those employees, then yes, the casualty rates would drop sharply. However, that would also drastically reduce our rate of energy production. Lobotomy Corporation operates a massive business. Tasks include the meeting the energy supply quota, production of electricity for the city, and business relations with our various stakeholders such as other wings. We refine energy via the most efficient method available and make a profit. That is the only thing we need to take into account. That's just... How could you be so cruel? She said, any employee who works here is extremely lucky to be hired into one of the wings. Many people fight for a job here every day. There will always be someone to take the place of the dead. What right do you have to take away their fortune? I understand that you're a smart one, she said. However, why won't you use that intelligence for something more meaningful? It seems you've taken quite a shock to this, but I warned you before. Nothing will change from how it is now. Did you think I was joking around denying you? I bet you tried drinking a warm cup of coffee instead of wasting time like this. You should savor your relatively high position better than what the employees go through. Do not forget that we have one singular objective. Oh, and she said, I am the best artificial intelligence this place has. I never clumsily leave trails or evidence behind. So, did you enjoy your little detective game? Do you know that we don't exactly exist like how we appear? I wonder how I look from your point of view. I bet it's something distasteful and incapable. Something I would have hated in the past. Another one of these? I didn't know there was a fourth of them. That may change things. We may have no choice but to punt this mission for the reset week. 'Cause I am not. That's more or less what I'm saying. To just ignore the mission completely and do it until, and not do the mission until the reset. Because if we do the time limit again, we may not have any time to do censored. Also, we technically haven't done with anything with behavior adjustment yet. So what's the better choice? Focus on filling in everything? Or do the mission? I'm personally, yeah, ignore the time limit. That's what I was thinking. Okay, yeah, okay, that basically decides it. Okay, what are our options? Okay, 220 for that. We're almost there. 222 for this. I think we can do that in a day. I think as long as we do it twice per meltdown cycle, then we're actually fine. We can see that Amelia can survive twice per meltdown cycle, so we can do it. Okay, 3 minutes. So once we put on behavior adjustment, it won't do anything, right? I can just keep it on without any worries. And Luminous Bracelet, we can just leave alone because it's stuck. So put Amelia there. Okay. Then I will have one person equip behavior adjustment, probably London, and just have her keep it on for the rest of the day. Fill it out that way. Luminous Bracelet we can safely ignore because it's not going anywhere. So our focus is going to be basically censored and behavior adjustment. Okay, let's go. 9.5 minutes, Lufa. It was already getting kind of hairy with 10.5 minutes. 9.5 is very strict. Okay, let's get started. We've seen that Amelia can survive. Huh? It says Pusey could do it because he has level 3 intelligence with level 5 attachment. He counts as a level 5 agent. If I put Pusey in a suit with very high very high black resistance, would that be something worth doing? Huh. What do you think? Should we reset the day real quick to explore this possibility? I'm guessing his SP would be too low for it, even with the super high resistance. Oh wait, no. Okay, London, grab behavioral adjustment and don't let it go. It is your friend for the rest of the day. Okay, meanwhile, Rose does this. Oof, rough start for Amelia. I guess in the meantime, I could just repeat what I was doing anyways, just focus on the high PE box units. $21 to start. Okay, not terrible. It would take 5 meltdown cycles to even reach 100 at that rate. So, yeah, 2 per. If we want to make it. Do I want to throw lungs at this while I'm at it, just for the extra PE boxes? Well, since we've decided to completely ignore the time limit, I am at least feeling more relaxed about this. Also, I just remembered we haven't killed any clerks yet. Okay, we grabbed everything for Little Prince, so Gabriella, focus on Judgment Bird. And you, Melendez, focus on Snow White. Okay, Amelia, can you repeat what you did before? You should have everything rigging it in your favor. But even then, anything could go wrong at any time, so be safe. Amelia really does have a lot of things rigging work in her favor because she has like a bunch of success rate gifts, like 7% worth, and then another 6% from the observation level bonus. But even with all that, it can go wrong. I am very, very aware of that. Going to meltdown level 50 or 5, by the way, means that there is a chance we may encounter a moon at some point. So, something to keep in mind there. Okay, Everett, do your usual job of eating the buff. Oh. Didn't go directly to... Okay, we'll see what kind of wacky adventure Punishing Bird feels like taking. I am not bold enough to do 3 works. Uncensored. There are limits to these things. Oh, just went back to control anyways. Go figure. So, the nice thing about doing the time limit mission on the day we go back to is that we won't have any new abnormalities to worry about, and we won't have any new abnormalities to worry about. The only thing that would be bad about that is losing a day of training. Well, I guess I wouldn't say losing a day of training, just having a day where I can't focus too much on training because I'm too busy doing other stuff. Okay, Violet Dawn starting now. What have we got? Luminous Bracelet, okay, that's fine. Yang, that's also fine. It's basically the two that I need to return in 5 seconds. Okay, you can be Gabriella, and you can be Georgia. And as soon as they get picked up, right back in you go. The tool abnormalities available on the day Luminous Bracelet happened must have been uniquely terrible if the end result was that we felt like we had no other choice but to take Luminous Bracelet. I'll be damned if I remember what they are, though. Okay, we don't have to do anything with Kumbin anymore. Got everything there. We could also return behavior adjustment if we're so inclined, but no harm in keeping it on, especially if London sees combat at some point. The one thing I wish that had happened, and it was actually an idea that I had in mind, is using the extra success rate for her, very especially when she's melting down. I am curious how well that would go, but unfortunately, because I grabbed Yin earlier, that meant only Yang got to appear. Remember when our original idea for Censored was having Misona using the music box? In fact, it might have still worked, but it certainly would have been less efficient than this. Holy shit, Amelia, you are rocking it. We've already passed the 100 mark. You know what? I'm so used to this cycle that I may as well just keep doing it to get energy throughout the day. Because there's no reason not to. As the saying goes, there's no reason to fix what isn't broken. Sorry with the glitches going on the screen. my laptop had some issues recently, and while my laptop is working now, it also looks like the issues hadn't been 100% cured, which is kind of annoying. But what are you gonna do? What beeping? Because my laptop is plugged in, it wasn't that. Might have been an in-game sound effect. Does it usually not beep during that time? Weird. Okay, it looks like we have 3 works left. Grind punishing bird. That's just your logic life now. Wait, we don't actually care about energy production. What am I thinking? We're gonna reset the day as soon as we get everything we need. I'm so used to being in normal game mode that I don't remember that this is actually, by the way, just go until you get censored weapon. What do we got? Of course you had to park yourself under cleanup hatred. Why wouldn't you park there? Amelia can just take care of that by herself because she's nearby and has a super strong white weapon. That should be all the slugs, question mark. Yep, that wasn't even remotely an issue. We reached a point where basically every dawn ordeal is easily manageable. Okay, so... Should I just return behavior adjustment? You know what? I will. I'll return behavior adjustment, and I'll take it out again if I feel like there's gonna be a fight it's needed in. Because it may be needed in a noon coming up, if a noon does happen. Okay, okay, Amelia, try repeating that. We're all counting on you to grab the super strong censored gun. That's gonna help a lot in the future. Or it's not a gun. It says the range is short, so I guess it's more like a claw. The claw. We might actually be able to do this in the next meltdown cycle. Actually. Question. Wouldn't censored be strong enough to the point where it could kill Punishing Bird in one go, or is it just that Punishing Bird has that split-second buff to defenses that prevents that from happening? Punishing Bird is very, very tricky. As long as it doesn't kill one of our agents, we call that a win, I believe. Incidentally, after after going back and forth on it for so much, I did in fact decide to get a Twitch or a Nintendo Switch 2. It actually was a bunch of back and forth. But I decided in the end that the main reason I had decided to I was wavering is because of the price, but the main benefit for it is that my current Switch is rather old, and in the end I just decided to go with the upgrade. Speaking of Green Noon, oh, I hate that. I super hate that. Okay, it says 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah. We have to do Yang first and Burrowing Heaven last. The real question is, who are we gonna set aside for Little Prince? Can anyone handle Little Prince? I suppose Georgia can. Yeah, Georgia. Okay, while all that is going on, I'm going to do this real quick. Return it right away. And now we can focus on Burrowing Heaven. And Pansy gets to be the lucky one to do it because that's just Pansy's lottery, right? There, all meltdowns taken care of. Okay. Because that was all meltdowns, we didn't get anything to the meter. So now it's up to Amelia to close us out. Once again, there's a chance to do a Green Noon, and we're just gonna pass it right by. Also, I turned on the speed up again on accident, but you know what? I'll just leave it because it will make it go a little faster. Okay. That's enough. We've got everything from Censored. We've got everything from Queen Bee. Yes. We filled up Behavioral Adjustment. We got everything from Butterfly. We got everything from Little Prince. Yeah. Snow White's Apple. Yes. Judgment Bird. Yes. Okay. We're good to reset. Anything else that we may want happen before we reset? Any last business to take care of? Well, goodbye to this timeline. All the way back to day 31. Everything is back to how it was before all that, including safety and information being back to how they were, and Lamarcus and Isona having their captain titles back. And Emilia once again doesn't have the visor. Every time she gets the visor, some circumstance happens to contrive that she loses it. It's kind of funny, actually. So, I guess with that, next time... Oh. 102, 106, 106, and 108. For the Twilight armor, it looks like she just needs a smidge of fortitude. Nope, no. Get back in. I don't know if the first slot actually makes a difference, but that's hers. Penitence, Spore, and Sword Sharpened with Keys. I don't think Gabriella was ever captain. At least I don't remember her being so. But yes, next week on the left side of reality, we figure out what we want to do with everything now that everything's reset back to 0. And we do have the mission for Chesed to do, so that's going to be something to keep in mind. But I am very glad that things went a lot better than in the other stream that that didn't actually happen. There will be no footage proof of that stream. I suppose I had to have a stream that went super badly eventually. And Tuesday was just that stream. Oh well. See you all next week.